Hello and welcome to TechFunnel.com's interview series. My name is Danny White, and today we have joining us Justin Wu. Justin is a growth marketer and information architect who shares daily content on LinkedIn around growth hacks, campaigns, and building communities. In terms of growth, he has helped brands achieve over $3 million in Kickstarter and launched a SaaS company with $1 million in revenue the first year. In the blockchain industry, he has served as growth and marketing lead with over 15 plus blockchain companies and dApps on their campaigns. He is also a content creator in their growth marketing space and has collaborated with the Wall Street Journal, CES, NASA, and NASDAQ. Welcome, Justin. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks again for having me on here. It's always a pleasure.
Awesome. So you have founded several startups and helped to grow other companies substantially. How did you just discover a passion for that?
Yeah, so early on in my career, I started out as a kind of an entrepreneur and founder, wanting to always create products, websites, communities, and whatnot. But as I was going out and building, I realized, well, I couldn't get anybody to use it, any customers out there, and I just started gravitating towards, okay, how can I really grow my business without an investor, without capital to really to take my business to the next step in terms of sales and revenue. And so that got me in a very creative state,
right.
So to speak, in a way where I had to kind of like fight or flight and figure out ways to create meaningful content, community, and marketing channels to help really achieve growth. So I kind of just accidentally stumbled into marketing, really as a builder, but then realizing that if nobody knows about your product and service, then you can spend all the time building something and it won't matter at the end of it. Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of like my approach when I look at marketing, where marketing and growth always goes, in my opinion, hand in hand in the building and product and whatever, in the early stages of building a company. So that's kind of like by the way that I've been approaching marketing and growth.
Absolutely. So how have you been successful at raising capital for many different firms? As we mentioned earlier, you launched a SaaS company a couple of years ago, and within the first year, you had $1 million in revenue. How have you been successful at just having companies raise capital and getting different venture capitalists along the way?
Yeah, so for that SaaS company, we also raised a seed round, about like $800,000 for the seed round for that company as well too. And what's important to understand in terms of raising capital is that it's really helped there to help you scale to the next stage of whatever stage you're in. And so you have to go and sit down and identify what is the actual growth metrics you need for your app or your business to show that there's actually significant traction. Does it mean more downloads, more users, more customers, or just more revenue as well too? So you just kind of have to sit down and plan out all the different metrics that you want and need to grow, and then just laser focus just on those. Don't focus on other things like social media followers if it doesn't really matter. It really, what has helped us is to have a lot of conversations with investors, not in the initial talks for them to fund, but to ask them what it is, would they see, what they like to see for meaningful growth, and get a lot of feedback from there. Also talk to other founders in that same category and ask them what their growth metrics is when they were fundraising to a seed capital or Series A or beyond as well too. So, raising capital is always just is a tool to help you accelerate growth. It shouldn't be something that you should fully 100% rely on. And in between time of you fundraising and building, you should always constantly just trying to grow your user base, your customers down the funnel, essentially, to keep stacking that and be as well-rounded as possible so that when you are prepared to talk to an investor, they'll see your growth. And if they don't say yes today, they might say yes a week from now, a month from now, tomorrow, etc. And as long as you're showing a chart of growth over time, then you can win them over.
Yeah, investors always like to see that growth, forward progress and moving forward. So you are a big proponent of blockchain. So what is so exciting about blockchain? Where do you see blockchain technology headed in the next 5-10 years?
Yeah, definitely. So for me, the real reasons why I'm interested in blockchain technology, besides cryptocurrency and Bitcoin out there, if you just think about it from a technology standpoint, it is kind of running in the background, similar to like a database, but obviously it's running it's a blockchain. And what interests me as an entrepreneur and marketer isn't necessarily about the fact that blockchain exists itself. It's the fact that it can interlace with a lot of other different industries out there, whether it be for finance, fintech, real estate, even like cannabis tracking or coffee bean tracking as well too. So as a marketer and entrepreneur, it's very fun to be in this space, because now I get to just work with a lot of really cool projects and companies out there. And the only interconnecting thing is that they're potentially using blockchain technology, but how can they go out there and talk to developers, customers, and beyond? And, to me, it's like any other, it's just a one topic in industry that I've been heavily focused on too. But I just think that there's going to continually be more and more high growth in this space. And you're seeing like Facebook even trying to hire growth marketers or growth hackers for the blockchain space as well. Same as Twitter. And so we're seeing a big shift in the whole finance space and beyond, where there's going to be a big monumental shift on kind of like a shared economy or shared network type of space out there. So for me, I'm just always like looking at things that are happening in the future, just to keep my eyes on it. Blockchain technology is one of it. Another big category I'm also looking at is esports, for example, and how to run marketing and growth for there. So for me, it's just always about learning about these different new emerging industries and figuring out how, as a marketer or entrepreneur, all the past learnings that I have in terms of campaigns and experiences and connections, how can I apply that to the next frontier technologies that will potentially disrupt the world as we know it? So that's kind of like my outlook for that. And blockchain is just one of those categories.
Awesome. So you talk a lot about growth marketing. Why is growth marketing so popular among marketers and technologists alike?
Yeah, well, I mean, like everybody needs growth no matter what. So that's always, everybody's always trying to chase this this golden idea that we're just trying to get the hockey stick growth hacks out there. And there's a lot of marketers and a lot of entrepreneurs always trying to hype out all these different get rich or get growth fast schemes out there. So a lot, the hype is out there. Everybody's always looking to how to generate millions of dollars in 30 days or how to generate a big viral list or deploy even a social media campaign like the Fire Festival. So like the fact that why growth marketing is so popular and is still going to always remain popular is that no matter what, like I said in the first question before, is everybody's always looking for growth. The only question now is like, how do you go out and achieve that? And for me, the best ways to always go look at that is to just study from existing business models or competitors or others that are in the space and kind of reverse engineer what they're doing and taking it one channel at a time. And as you go get better at like video or LinkedIn, and then you get better at emails, you're essentially adding more to a stack. And now you have like 5 or 10 channels that you're running in consecutively, and that can help you generate your growth too as well, so that you are hitting and syndicating content and multiple channels and generating growth from there. So for me, like growth marketing has always been a favorite topic for any type of business owner, especially since everybody's just so focused on their business. But when in the end of the day, it's either you grow or die. And so that's why growth is still relevant and hyped topic.
Very cool. So you say that hustle beats talent when talent doesn't beat hustle. You even have this as like your motto on your LinkedIn profile. So what do you attribute your own success to? Is it both or one over the other?
It's both. I think a lot of people take that quote in only the first surface level, saying that hustle will always beat talent. And that's, true. But the whole quote is hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. And so the idea is that people that are in motion and just always grinding and hustling out there and putting in the work usually will win those that are those that are talented and skillful. If and when those that are talented aren't actually doing the actual work out there as well too. But the second part of the quote saying that when talent doesn't hustle, that for me, what that means is that if you believe that you're talented or you are building up the skill sets and you're also hustling, then yeah, you're actually going to also blow past the people who are just hustling as well, because they haven't spent the time honing their skill sets in development, programming, or marketing, and whatever the case is. So I'm always a big believer that you should always have hustle, which is like your drive and your work, but talent, meaning always sharpening your skill sets, your knowledge, reading books, lessons, and always learning on that end, and push on both sides to help you achieve success in whatever ways that you want to go out and go for it.
Awesome. So where can people find out more about you and about your work online?
Yeah, I'm always, on most social media platforms like Twitter, LinkedIn. I would say that LinkedIn is my most favorite platform.
Right, you're always on.
Yeah, and it's just because the way that you think about it, Facebook is becoming a little bit noisy and saturated. Instagram is very casual for B2C. Even if you're like B2B or B2C, LinkedIn poses a very interesting platform, because now they're just like fully copying Facebook. And what that means is that the newsfeed is algorithmic based now, and content can go much more viral. You can reach a lot more people.
Absolutely.
And the most important point is that all the big money and decision makers and C-level execs are on LinkedIn.
They're on LinkedIn.
And nothing else. So you can find me on, like, if you type in Justin Wu, or I'm sure there will be some sort of link or a way to follow me.
Very cool.
As well,
awesome.
Too.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Justin. We really appreciate your time. Guys, thanks for listening to this interview. For these and other interviews and topics, please visit techfunnel.com. You can connect with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram, and subscribe to our weekly newsletter so you can stay up to date on what's happening in the industry. Thank you.
Thanks.